hundreds of years, people from developing countries had to emigrate in search of better professional opportunities. It was often a tough choice between professional or personal life. Back then, nobody could imagine it any other way. But nowadays, remote workers from wealthy nations are moving to developing countries due to better quality of life. So how many of you currently work fully remotely? Please raise your hand. Like 5%. We estimate that in 2035, there will be 1 billion of remote workers. Remote work is the biggest in history chance for developing nations. It can literally make the world a better place, borderless and more inclusive. Have you ever thought about a world where people don't need anymore to emigrate due to lack of professional opportunities at home? Where emigration and travel is a choice and not a necessity? Where professionals from developing countries have same work opportunities than their counterparts from wealthy nations? When there is no longer a problem of brain drain? I truly believe many still don't realize how remote work can transform not just our jobs, but also our lives and whole countries. It democratized the access to opportunities, no matter where you were born or choose to live. But we have a job to do to make it happen. Do you know what is the biggest challenge sabotaging this revolution? It's our mindset. It's not lack of resources, digital skills, or even education. The biggest barrier I have encountered in developing countries is that people don't really believe a better life is possible for them. And it turns out a self-fulfilling prophecy. I was not lucky or privileged. I was actually born where the devil says goodnight. I grew up without internet. I didn't speak any English or any other foreign language until I was 22. I had a challenging upbringing and no money to go to university. The best I could do was to find a low-paid job at local school. I wanted to travel the world, but without resources, it felt impossible. I wanted to do an international career, but had no idea how to start. I personally didn't know any successful people. Everybody in my surroundings was just making ends meet. I was told that success in life was a matter of luck and good contacts. But it was a lie. It's a matter of courage. First time when I heard about remote work was in 2015. I met few German digital nomads traveling the world with great income, having fun. Well, that's great for them, I thought. I wanted to do that too, but I had no idea how. So I didn't do anything, and 2 years went by. But the seed was already planted. What happened after? I joined the group of digital nomads. I was afraid first. After all, I was not one of them, just a wannabe. But being exposed to a different reality and having multiple role models erased my limiting beliefs. I started to think that if hundreds of people could do it, I could do it as well. 1 year later, I created remote work for myself and became a digital nomad. That job was not initially offered as a remote work opportunity, but I negotiated firmly and became the first person ever to work remotely for that company. Why? Because I changed my mindset, and that transformed my reality. And you can do it as well. When we wish for a better life, we often think for a change in our external life. But our external world is a reflection of our interior. And for that reason, for any change in our external reality, usually we need to change first. Our mindset, our behaviors, our routines. We need to learn new ways of doing things. Even if that, for many, is not easy to believe, a well-paid job and a good status will not make you happy. But having a freedom to live life on your own terms will. For that reason, a first step to more freedom and fulfillment in your professional life is to leave your comfort zone and surround yourself with people who already achieved what you aim for. If you want to work remotely, find digital nomads or remote workers in your country. Go to in-person events or look for online communities. This will provide you with inspiration and precious support. I have seen people interested in remote work that didn't know how to get one, that after a one-week event, surrounded by digital nomads, left their jobs or careers and started a new life. 1 week and the right role models was enough. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, rather benefit from community power. The next step is figuring out how to use your unique talents and skills for finding or even creating remote work opportunities. While it's correct that some careers have more remote work opportunities than others, we need to realize that the future of work is not about where we work, but how we work. It's about redesigning our jobs and making them human-centric. So we need to start questioning the status quo. There are currently many jobs that are not being done remotely just because our society didn't fully embrace the concept yet. Any knowledge-based or digital roles can be performed from anywhere, and HR can hire globally. Famous water cooler moment is a classical example of a limiting belief. So what does it mean? That some of you spent hours commuting or going to an office to perform a job that can be done from anywhere around the world. For others, it might mean you need to change the job. Or in more complex cases, perhaps even acquire new skills and learn how to sell them. But the most important part is that people understand that remote work is possible for millions of people, not just for the lucky or privileged ones. Once you have internalized this, your life will change. On an individual level, remote work could change your life as it changed mine. It's not just about our jobs. It's a whole new concept of a human-centric life where we can achieve a real balance between professional and personal area. As of nowadays, this balance is very often not achievable, not even in rich countries. Most of people spend a significant amount of their time looking for good jobs. And when they find them, if they find them, they spend most of their time working and trying to earn more money. So often, what is really important in life, like our family, friends, our passions, are left behind. The world has changed, and it offers now unprecedented opportunities. But we need first to free ourselves from the slavery of our limiting beliefs. There are more ways to live life than what we have been taught by our parents and our society. It is the first time in history that it's possible to do what nourishes your soul, travel the world, and yet make a good living, all at the same time. On a society level, remote work has a tremendous transformation potential. That's why when we talk about future of work, we now also talk about future of living. Ironically, as of nowadays, it's wealthy nations that bet on remote work. And they definitely should, as it increases everybody's wellness and productivity. But where it can have the biggest impact is precisely in developing countries. It can totally transform them. The impact it could have on populations of Africa, for example, is totally underestimated. Remote work is a part of a much bigger revolution. In the past, developing a country was a long and arduous process that would take many decades. Nowadays, a country can totally transform itself in a decade, thanks to digital transformation and power of collaboration. Can you imagine African countries being technology hubs and attracting Europeans who now want to live here? Bold as it sounds, it's already happening. Do you want to be a part of this new world? Challenge your mindset and talk to me today. Thank you.